After some serious detective work, I finally got the official QQ Music app up and running on my device. This video pieces together tips and information from across the web that are guaranteed to help you navigate this journey too. We're going to tackle the 8 hurdles that might be standing between you and your QQ Music experience. Check out the description box below for a summary of the hurdles covered in this video, along with convenient links that will allow you to skip to the sections that interest you most. Before we get started, here's a quick disclaimer. Feel free to pause the video to take it all in. Did you know that both the Apple App Store and Google Play have fake QQ Music apps floating around? Yep, and they're pretty awful knockoffs too. But if you've never used the real deal, it's easy to be fooled. Let's head over to the Google Play Store and spot the fake. Here we are in the Google Play Store. As you can see at the top, I've searched for QQ Music. The first result might look like QQ to someone not familiar with the real app. After all, it calls itself QQ in English, and the Chinese describes it as a massive music player that features Chinese, Japanese, and Korean songs. That sounds a lot like QQ, right? Let's click on it and take a closer look. Alright, let's start with the logo. It's completely off. Here's what the official QQ Music logo looks like. Now, those screenshots might seem all shiny and professional, but you're in for a letdown if you decide to download this app. It looks nothing like what's advertised. Some of you might have raised an eyebrow at the low reviews, but that's not the dead giveaway. Take a look at the developer. Who on earth is Lilib Wei? No clue here. In fact, the real QQ Music app was developed by Tencent Technology, so this app is definitely a fake. Now let's take a look at the real deal in the Google Play Store. There's the official QQ logo. Plus, the millions of downloads is a solid sign it's the legit app. The big indicator though is that it's developed by Tencent, the official owner of QQ, so you know it's the real thing. It's important to note though that if you aren't in China, you won't see the official app in your Google Play search results. But don't worry, I'll show you how to get it a little later. But first, let's take a look at the fake app in the Apple App Store. I've switched to my phone and searched for QQ Music. Let's click on it. Here we go again. The logo is way off. The app's pictures make it look legit, but the reviews tell a completely different story. And once again, the developer isn't Tencent. For those of you who don't read Chinese, the developer's name is Ho Tutao, and they probably don't even work at Tencent. Let's see the official Apple app now. You'll quickly notice the real QQ Music logo, and it's currently holding the number 3 spot in the music category with some pretty awesome reviews. But the most important thing to look for, the developer. Yep, it's Tencent, so you can be sure it's legit. Keep in mind though that your iPhone's region has to be set to China for the official app to even show up in your search results. Don't worry, we'll talk more about that later. If you're wondering about the Microsoft and Amazon app stores, I haven't come across a fake QQ app, but if in doubt, just make sure the developer is Tencent. So why is it such a hassle for anyone outside of China to access QQ Music? Well, let's break that down as we overcome our next hurdle. Did you know that while TikTok is blowing up worldwide, the Chinese app isn't available in China? Yep, that's right. ByteDance, the company behind TikTok, created a separate, almost identical app just for China called Douyin, and if you're outside of China, you won't find it in any app store. Now, this isn't about politics, but it's interesting to note that the Chinese government admits to having restrictions on information access. They feel these measures are in place to protect their citizens, thus the need for 2 separate TikToks. But here's the thing, China welcomes over 150 million tourists every year, not to mention the hundreds of thousands of expats living there. Remember the Beijing Olympics? So China does realize that visitors need access to their apps too. One major reason, most of the 30 million merchants in China don't accept foreign credit cards, and using cash is becoming less common. Instead, they rely on apps like WeChat Pay and Alipay to handle payments. So why should you care? Well, if you want QQ Music to work properly, you'll need a subscription, which means you'll need to pay using a Chinese app. Don't worry though, I'll walk you through setting that up later in this video. The upside is that QQ's prices are super affordable compared to similar services in the US. Right now, you can get a 3-month subscription for just $6 US, and downloading a new release song is only about 28 cents US. The catch? China limits access to these apps for citizens, expats, and tourists, so you'll need a passport to sign up for foreign payments. It may sound a bit scary at first, but using your passport for this is no different than showing it at any country's border. If you don't have a passport, it might be a good idea to apply for one, especially if you have a need to pay for Chinese services. I'll show you exactly what to do with your passport later on in this video. First, let's dive into hurdle number 3 and talk VPNs. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. You can think of it like a secret tunnel for your internet. VPNs keep your information safe and make it look like you're using the internet from a different place. So, although I'm on the east coast of the US right now, my computer thinks I'm in Hong Kong. As I mentioned, many Chinese apps are designed for use within China's borders, and QQ Music is no exception. This means that it's unavailable to users outside of China. So international users, such as tourists preparing to visit China, will likely encounter these limitations. However, using a VPN allows you to bypass these restrictions by making it appear as though you are accessing the app from within China. While I totally get the appeal of free options, I can't in good conscience recommend one. Why? Many free VPNs tend to compromise your security and privacy, putting your data and online safety at risk. If you're curious about what I mean, I've put together a list of 10 potential risks and irritations that come with using free VPNs. Feel free to pause the video and take a closer look. Right now, I'm really enjoying NordVPN. It's great for beginners because it's super user-friendly. It has an easy-to-use interactive map with a quick connect button, making it a breeze to find the fastest server. As a bit of a techie, I also appreciate that it connects to all my devices, no matter the operating system. Plus, I can connect up to 10 devices at once, which is fantastic. What really stands out to me, though, is their approach to privacy. They have a strict no logs policy. This gives me peace of mind knowing that my data is safe and sound. Plus, it can also block ads and trackers and catch malware before it gets the chance to download. When choosing a VPN, one thing that really matters to me is how many servers it offers. Why? Well, if one connection doesn't work for my desired purpose, I can simply try again with another server. Right now, Nord has over 6,000 servers in more than 100 countries, and for me, that's more than enough options for streaming and browsing to my heart's content. And I can't forget the best part, it's affordable too, with plans starting as low as $3 a month. If you're thinking of using Nord, please use my link below to get an extra 3 months of service and support my channel at the same time. As you can see, I'm already on the Nord website. Just click Get the Deal and choose the plan that works for you on the next screen. The 2-year plan is by far the best value, but you can start with a shorter plan to test the waters using the menu here. For accessing QQ Music, the basic plan is all you need, but if you want extra perks like anti-malware protection or blocking ads and trackers, then the Plus plan is right for you. The Ultimate plan is packed with features, but most users won't need all that. So unless you're really after all those extra features, stick with the lower level plans to save money. Once you pick a plan, click on the blue button on it to get started setting up your account. I've already got mine, so I can't walk you through it, but trust me, it's super easy. Just fill in the basics, your name, address, phone number, email, create a password, and pop in your payment information. Easy peasy. Once your payment goes through, you'll be taken to a download page where you can pick the app that works for your device. Whether you're on Windows, Mac, Android, or something in between, just download the appropriate app and you're good to go. Since there are so many devices out there, I won't go through the installation steps for each one. Instead, I'll drop a link in the description to NordVPN's official setup tutorials. They've got everything covered. But heads up, to snag those extra 3 months free, make sure to use the coupon link I've included for purchases, not the setup tutorials one. Here's a word to you rare Linux users. This is the only method available to you to get the official QQ app. Everyone else can opt to use an app store. By far the easiest way to get the QQ Music app on your device is by downloading it directly from the official QQ Music website. But wait, while QQ Music is a legitimate streaming service, downloading apps from overseas can pose potential risks. So be sure to research if this option is right for you. If it is, remember to keep your antivirus software updated and be cautious about granting permissions you don't understand. To get started, open NordVPN as I've done. Sign into your account if necessary. I've already done so. As you can see, I've already entered Hong Kong in the search box. Let's click on Hong Kong to connect to our VPN. If you look at the top, we are connected now. Here's a quick tip. If you're wondering if you're actually connected to the internet through Hong Kong, you can visit showmyip.com to check both your current IP address and the country you're connected through. I'll do that now. Looky there, we are connected to Hong Kong. Now, let's visit QQ Music's official site using the link I shared below. If you're using Chrome, you can translate the page to English using the button in the upper right. Then click English and exit out of that window. Now, click the green button below the version of the app that's right for your device. For all you folks who prefer using an app store, let's do that now. We'll kick things off by busting a common myth floating around. You don't need to buy a sketchy third-party app to install QQ Music on your device. It's much smarter to invest in a trustworthy VPN, which you'll need anyway. With that, let's start with an iPhone, but the steps are pretty much the same for all Apple devices. First things first, you absolutely must cancel all subscriptions linked to your Apple ID. Yes, that means goodbye to Apple Music, any extra cloud storage, and those app subscriptions too. You can put it all back later, but this is a real hassle, especially if you cancel mid-month. You might have to wait until the end of the month for that subscription to actually expire. No instant gratification here. Also, don't forget to spend any money you have in the iTunes store, like those gift card balances. If you don't use it, you'll likely lose it, and nobody wants that, right? Also, there's been a lot of chatter on Reddit about whether you need a VPN to access the official app on your iPhone. While many say you don't, you will definitely need one later in this process. So, if you paid for a VPN subscription, I say take advantage of it. To get started, make sure you've installed the NordVPN app on your phone. Open it up, and if you need to, log in. I already have. Then click on Search and type in Hong Kong. Then click on Hong Kong, and you're connected. Exit out of NordVPN and open your settings. From here, tap on your name up at the top, then on Media and Purchases, then click View Account. Next, click on Country Region and then select China. I won't do this on screen as I've not canceled my subscriptions as required, but I wanted to show you how to get here. Once you change the country to China, you may need to agree to terms and conditions. Finally, restart your iPhone. Now, open the App Store and search for QQ Music. Again, I can't show you this in its entirety because my phone is set to the US. Once the app is installed, repeat the steps to change your Apple ID region back to your home country. Then restart your phone for the changes to take effect. You can then resubscribe to Apple Music, iCloud, and other apps if you so desire. However, I regret to inform you that when you want to update the QQ app, you'll have to repeat all the steps we just went through. Yep, that means canceling everything again, waiting for them to expire, and using up any iTunes balance you've got lying around. Only then can you change your region back to China and update the QQ app. Fun, right? Then, after updating the app, don't forget to return your iPhone's region to your home country. For Android and Windows users, installing the app is much simpler. Just like we did during the Apple demo, make sure to connect your VPN to Hong Kong first. Then, depending on your device, head over to the Google Play Store or the Microsoft App Store and search for QQ Music. To make things easier, I've added links to the description below. Just install the app like you normally would. To sign into QQ Music as a foreigner, you'll need WeChat, another essential Chinese app. In this section, I'll help you get it set up. Before we get started, let's take a moment to clear up a couple of common misconceptions. You don't need a Chinese phone number, address, or ID to enjoy QQ Music. You can use your own info to access it. Second, there's no need to spend money on a QQ Music login from anyone. It's completely unnecessary. Save that cash for a trustworthy VPN instead. You'll be glad you did. But for this part of the video, you won't need to use your VPN. I'll be using an iPhone for this demo, but the process is similar on other devices. Just head to your App Store and search for the WeChat app. Then install it. Tap WeChat. I'm not going to allow notifications. And click Sign Up. Click Sign Up with Mobile. Enter your name. Make sure your region is set to your home country. Then enter a valid mobile phone number. Virtual phone numbers like Google Voice, Grasshopper, Burner, etc. won't work. Use your own number since you'll be receiving a verification code to complete setup. Also, remember, you can only have one WeChat account per mobile phone number, so keep that in mind if you need to create more than one account. Finally, create your password. Tick the box indicating you've read the terms of service. Click on Accept and Continue. Tick the box indicating that you've read the privacy policy. Then click Next. Then click on Authenticate, complete the reCAPTCHA, and click OK. To complete sign up, many users are asked to have a friend scan a QR code. Pause your screen for a moment to familiarize yourself with this nonsense. It's unclear why some users are asked to do this while others simply receive a text verification code. During my sign up, fortunately, I got the verification code. I hope you do too. If you do get a QR code, you won't get the necessary verification code until after your QR code is scanned. And yes, you will have to go through all the sign up steps again when you have someone ready to scan your code. Oh, joy. So what do you do if you don't know anyone who can scan your code? If you can wait a ridiculous 6 months for access, consider asking a family member like your partner, child, sibling, or even a coworker to sign up for WeChat. Then, after you've long forgotten what you're waiting for, they can scan your QR code. It's like we're trying to get into Fort Knox. Here's what not to do. Avoid randomly posting your QR code on Facebook, forums, or similar platforms in the hope that someone will scan it out of pity. Since the code expires in less than 5 minutes, the chances of this approach working are slim at best. So what else can you try? Some Reddit users have recommended reaching out to WeChat support to explain that you're in an area where WeChat isn't widely used, so it's hard to find someone to scan your QR code. A few people said that they had success in as little as 3 days. I've included a link to WeChat support below. Another option is to reach out to the many people online who are eager to earn a little extra cash by scanning your code. Marketplace platforms like Fiverr have freelancers offering this service for as low as $5. You can also find communities on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, and Telegram where people are dedicated to providing similar help. Before sending money to anyone, though, it's a good idea to do some research first. For instance, on Fiverr, you can check public reviews to see if others have had positive experiences with having their code scanned. Sadly, though, not all platforms offer reviews. With that, let's move on to hurdle number 6. Hop over to the App Store on your device and grab the Google Translate app. Now, whenever you come across something you can't read, just take a screenshot. You can also just open Google Translate and point your camera at things you want to translate. Think foreign menu, but this isn't possible when you're trying to translate things on your phone with your phone. I've already taken a screenshot of something I want to translate. Open the Google Translate app and set the languages correctly. In this case, choose Simplified Chinese to English. If you speak another language, select it instead. Tap the camera icon, then the photo icon at the bottom. If it's your first time using Google Translate, you might need to allow it to access your photos. Choose the screenshot or photo you want to translate, and the app does its magic, making it easy to read. You can also pinch the screen to zoom in. If you're using a computer, you can use this feature at translate.google.com. Just click on Images and set the languages correctly. To change a language, click on the arrow next to it and select your choice. Then drag a photo from your computer onto the page, and it's instantly translated. Now on to hurdle number 7. To tackle this hurdle, your WeChat account must be fully set up. As I said earlier, you'll need a QQ Music subscription to access all the songs. Without it, most tracks will be grayed out and unplayable. But don't worry, while QQ Music doesn't accept foreign credit cards, you can easily link your US or international card through the WeChat app. If you're hesitant about linking your credit card to a Chinese app, why not use a separate card just for this? You may feel more secure. To avoid any hiccups, it's smart to call your bank before using your card with WeChat. I skipped that step and my first transaction got declined. Also, before adding your card, you'll need to verify your identity. If you're not a Chinese resident, you'll need a passport. Let's get you verified by opening the WeChat app. Tap Me at the bottom, then tap Pay and Services. Tap Money. I've already verified my identity, so here's a screenshot of the next step. Under ID type, choose Passport and fill out the form. Then you'll need to upload a clear photo of your passport with all 4 corners visible. Then, check yourself in the mirror quickly because next, the app will use your phone's camera for facial recognition. It only took me a few seconds to get verified. This step ensures that the person in the passport photo is really the one signing up. Now, let's add your card. So as not to confuse anyone about where we are in the app, I'll start from the beginning. Open the app, tap Me, then Pay and Services, tap Wallet, and then Bank Cards, and add a bank card. Next, enter your card details starting with the number. Since I've already linked mine, I won't show the steps, but next you'll need to add your billing address and create a 6-digit payment code. Be sure to remember the code as you'll need it each time you make a payment. If you're wondering about transaction fees, purchases under $27.82 US have no fees. For anything over that, there's a 3% fee. But if you request a refund, these fees will be refunded as well. Now, let's get your QQ Music subscription. Off screen, I opened NordVPN, signed in, and connected to Hong Kong. I also opened the QQ Music app. First, in the upper right corner, click on 电机登录, which means sign in English. If you need help with the Chinese, use Google Translate like I showed you earlier. I'll click on it. In the pop-up box, click on the middle tab that says 微信登录. Yep, that means WeChat login in English. This step is super important. Whether you're logging into QQ Music on a computer like I am or on your mobile phone, if you don't select WeChat login, you'll get an error message and nobody wants that. If you're accessing QQ Music on a computer like I am, grab your phone and open the WeChat app. In the upper right corner, click on the plus symbol and then tap Scan. And scan the QR code showing on your computer screen. Then tap Accept and Continue. Then click Allow. And now you're all signed in on your computer. So what if you're using the QQ Music mobile app? How do you scan the code when both QQ Music and WeChat are on the same device? I ran into that little hiccup myself. Even though WeChat can scan photos saved on your phone, it didn't work for logging into QQ Music. I kept getting an error message. So here's what I did. I asked a friend to take a photo of the QQ Music QR code with their phone. Then I simply scanned that code using the WeChat app on my phone, and it worked like a charm. Now, do you see an icon with a little V next to my username? If you're on a mobile phone, check your app for a similar icon. Let's click on it to see the paid subscription options. Then, click on the yellow button to see the VIP plan. It offers 500 downloads a month and lets you customize your app with stylish themes, but it comes with a higher cost. The prices are listed in Chinese currency, so just use Google to convert them to your local currency. I did that off screen. The first price listed is for a monthly recurring plan, and it's currently $3.99 US for the first month and $1.71 US for each additional month. It can be canceled at any time. The middle plan rings in at $12.54 US for 3 months, or you can opt for a year at $49.58 US. If I were to scroll to the right, there's also a 1-month plan for $5.70 US that isn't recurring. Let's exit out of that. Let's go back up and check out the green diamond plan by clicking on the green button. Like the VIP plan, you'll have access to all songs. You'll get less downloads per month, but the 300 it offers is more than enough for me. It's the plan I opted for. Currently, the recurring monthly plan is $2.14 US for the first month and each additional month thereafter. You can cancel at any time. The 3-month plan is $6.41 US and 12 months is $23.94 US. If I were to scroll to the right, there's also a 1-month plan for $5.70 US that isn't recurring. That's way cheaper than iTunes and Spotify. If you want to subscribe to QQ Music using a computer, here's what to do. Once you've picked a subscription that fits your needs by clicking on it, grab your phone and open the WeChat app. Tap on the plus sign and then tap Scan. Now just scan the QR code for the subscription you want and enter your 6-digit PIN that you set up earlier to finalize the payment, and you're all set. If you're using a mobile device, you'll first need to take a picture of the QR code with a friend's phone and then scan it using your own phone's WeChat app. Then enter your 6-digit PIN to pay, and that's it. No, really, that's it. You've made it to the end. I truly hope I've answered all your many questions about getting QQ Music. If you know anyone who's struggling with this, feel free to share my video with them, share it on Reddit and elsewhere. Spread the love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.